Mindock Park is a popular railfanning and tourist location along the Hudson River in southern New York. Located at QR 42.9 on the CSX River line, you'll often see a lot of railfans gathered here to take some photos of the trains passing through the nice scenery. Our day started off in the early morning at around 8:30 a.m. as we had our first train running down the line. This was Intermodal train IO10 making its way to Port Newark, New Jersey after nearly completing the journey from Bedford Park, Illinois. It's really nice to see trains heading along the Hudson River here, especially in this case with the two GE locomotives reflecting off the Hudson River with an ES44AH and an ES40DC. This train carries international containers. Once they reach Port Newark, they'll be loaded onto ships and sent around the globe. Serving as a DPU was a CM44AC rebuilt from an AC44CW. Followed by some UPS containers and assorted trailers. Next up was Intermodal train I-007, heading from North Bergen, New Jersey to Rose Lake, Illinois, with more GEs up front. I-007 starts out rather short, as seen today with only 5 cars. You can see Andy's pure disappointment in the background. However, they will work a few yards along the way and will get a little longer. Once 007 was into the siding, Manifest train Q409 was able to make its way south on its way to Waycross, Georgia. Q409 carries a lot of trash, and that was no exception today. This trash comes from all around the Northeast and heads south on Manifest trains. Some of these containers came up on Manifest train Q704, originating in Oak Point Yard in the Bronx, heading to Selkirk, New York. After arriving in Selkirk, the loaded flat cars will be placed on the southbound trains. A lot of the trash will be used in landfills, while some will be burned. Another CM44 rebuild serves as Q409's mid-train DPU, separating the trash flash from the mixed freight. Next up was train I-003, priority stacks from South Kearny, New Jersey to Bedford Park, Illinois. This train carries a lot of Amazon Prime containers and is one of the hottest trains on the CSX system. Any and all southbound trains at the moment will be forced into sidings to let the 003 pass. Next up was Intermodal train I-157, running from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to North Baltimore, Ohio.
cut of auto racks trailed behind the cut of stacks. Next up was I-157's counterpart train, I-158. Bringing up the rear of I-158 was ET-44AH number 3258. Following not too far behind the I-158 was manifest train Q433 running from Selkirk, New York to Oak Island, New Jersey. Leading the train was AC-44CW number 465, still in YN2 paint. I decided to relocate to the south end of the tunnel for the next train. This would be southbound Q403, running from Selkirk to Philadelphia. Although I've been to Mine Dock several times, I don't really come to the south end of the tunnel. However, it's really nice to see the river come up so close to the tracks. Now I'm more used to Q433 having the interesting rolling stock. However, today's Q403 had two BC Rail boxcars back to back. Today's 403 was also an unusual 1x2 configuration, with one unit up front and two on the rear, a YN2 AC44 and an ES40 DC. We decided to relocate about 10 miles south for our last train of the day. Haverstraw, New York has an old New York Central station still standing, which has been repurposed as a law office. There's also a caboose that sits there, however, I have no information of its heritage. We waited for a long while before our last train of the day showed up. This was manifest train Q434 making its way to Selkirk, New York. Today's Q434 consisted of 4 locomotives, 2 AC44s both in a YN2 scheme, and 2 ES40 DCs. And as the end of the train rolls over the crossing, that'll conclude our day. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you down the line.